It's time for a DM Dilemma. 601-995-1017. Luke needs some unbiased advice about his situation. He writes, "Hey, Adam and Allison, do you share your location? I've been dating my girlfriend for 6 months, and lately she's been hinting and now outright saying that she wants to track my location. She's claiming it's to check on me if I'm late or not responding, so she doesn't worry. But it's making me uncomfortable, and I can't help but feel it's more about trust issues than anything else. How do I handle this without dismissing her concerns, but also maintaining my boundaries?" 601-995-1017.
I think you got to take a deep breath and you got to take a step back, because I initially, whenever the sharing your location became all the rage, people were doing it with their friends, who they were dating, family members. I was like, I don't need people knowing where I am all the time. That makes me uncomfortable. But now that it's kind of been a thing for a while, I do see the value in it. And I do think if I were in a committed relationship, I would want to share location just on those chances where it's like, hey, I'm at work. I can't answer my phone right now, but maybe I was supposed to be somewhere, and then that person can check and be like, oh, she's still at that event that she was working at. She's fine. Everything's okay. I think you should share your location and take a step back and be like, why don't I want to share my location? So what if maybe she does have a little bit of trust issues? Are you hiding something? Then what do you have to worry about?
601-995-1017 is our phone number. Mary's in Clinton, and you have advice. Go ahead, Mary.
I think it goes back to the reason behind the ask. If they're asking because there are trust issues, possible infidelity, or anything along those lines, that needs to be addressed. And I don't feel like sharing the location is going to get to the root of it. But if it goes back to it just being like a safety thing or something along those lines, because there's so much going on, then I don't see where that should be a problem. And if it is a problem, then it might lead to that the other part.
So you just created the perfect lie for somebody who does have trust issues. Oh, it's for safety. I want it for. I want to know your location for safety. You know what I'm saying?
You'll know what it's for. If you know you don't have any issues or anything of that nature, then there shouldn't be any issues with sharing your location.
Thank you so much for the call, Mary. We appreciate you. But he said in his DM to us that he feels like the deep-rooted trust issues are why she is wanting to know his location.
I don't know.
So I have an idea of how he gets out of sharing his location. 601-995-1017. But first, do you think he should have to share his location with his girlfriend of 6 months? And if you do not, do you have any ways for him to get her to stop asking? Because I do, and I will tell you next. Luke doesn't want to share his location with his girlfriend. It's Y101, Adam and Allison, and we're doing a DM Dilemma. He's trying to figure out how he can get out of doing this. Get out of sharing his location with his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And I think the only way that you can effectively get her off your case about sharing location is flip the script on her. Say, I think that you want me to share my location so you know when I'm coming home. Are you up to no good? Do you want to be able to hide whatever you're doing? Is that why you want to track my location? And then flip it on her and see what she says. And I bet she'll drop it.
Yeah, because flipping the script is never toxic.
No,
That's never a toxic thing to do.
601-995-1017 is our phone number. If you've got thoughts on the DM Dilemma this morning, I loved Tamatha's text. Mm-hmm. It says, I'm a grown A woman. Mm-hmm. I only share my location with my children in case I fall and cannot get up.
It's like life learned.
This is a trust and control issue. Another reason for me to be so thankful I'm single. Oh, and sometimes I turn it off for my children because it's none of their business what their mom is doing all the time. I want to know when she turns her location off. Like, what is she doing?
Definitely the kids know. Like, they're like, oh, man, mom turned off her location. Like, I know what she's doing.
Chris thinks I'm trying to start a fight. I mean, that might be what happens.
Yeah,
but if you really don't want to share your location, and like Mary just said, Mary called us and said that if it's about a safety thing, it's cool. If it's a trust issue, it's not cool. Luke says it's a trust issue.
Alice thinks she's got the perfect compromise. She says, I only share my location when I'm on a road trip. So maybe you set up certain parameters like, hey, I get you're worried about me, so here's the times that we'll share. The rest of the time, I don't want to share it. I'm not comfy.
Jesse, welcome to the show. What's your advice?
I see way more benefits of it now. So if she shares her location with other family members, it is so convenient, like at this point, because I can tell my daughter, I'm like, hey, since you're right there right now, will you go into that store right next to that and do this for me? Or since you're on that side of town, can you do this for me? I mean, we even have our mother-in-law, father-in-law, all of us. It's like 13 of us on a Life 360 family share.
So you feel like he's missing some opportunities, like maybe he'll notice she's, right by Starbucks and be like, ooh, hey, could you pick me up a little afternoon coffee? I'm feeling tired.
Sometimes my wife would call me and say, hey, can you tell me, because she'll be driving or she's busy like 2 miles up the road if there's going to be traffic. Can you reroute me? And I'm like, yeah. So I'll see where she's at and I'll reroute her. But at first I was like, hell no, I ain't sharing my location with nobody. But then I've been doing it probably 2 years now, and I love it.
And here's the other thing. He could then agree to share the location. They're sharing locations with each other. And if he really doesn't like it still, he could just annoy the crap out of her with requests, little errands all the time for her to pick up. Jesse, I like the way you think, my man.
There you go. That's it.
601-995-1017. Jerry's here. Welcome to the show, my man.
What's up, brother? If I'm rerouting anything, it's my future.
So what's your advice for location Luke? Should he just bite the bullet and share with his girlfriend?
Oh, absolutely not. When she asks for your location, you treat her like Godzilla. You yell, you run.
Oh, no!
You think he just needs to exit the relationship at this point? He's done.
It's over, Adam. If he's like, this seems so wild to me, what do you guys think? It's wild to everybody, bro. Run.
Oh, no!
Jerry, thank you so much for the call.
All right, love you.
This portion of the show brought to you by your cousin Jerry. He wants to know why you haven't called. Does this have anything to do with what happened at Graham's 80th birthday party?
I did want to give Felicia the last word on the DM dilemma. Luke doesn't want to share his location with his girlfriend. She wants him to. He wants to know if he can get out of it. What do you think, Felicia?
All y'all gonna need therapy.
Okay, what are we going to therapy for?
Because you don't want to share your location. There's nothing wrong with it.
You don't think?
There's nothing wrong with it. Like they said earlier, you never know what's going to happen, what might happen. But I'm not sending nobody on a bunch of errands. No, I'm not doing that part. But I share my location.
Felicia, are you single?
No, I told you
Damn
I'm married.
Do you force your husband to share his location with you?
He can't. He has an Android. I have an iPhone, so.
Well, there
do you
are
think
apps
that's by
for that.
design?
Yeah, there are apps for that.
Oh, it is an app for it? Oh, it's over with now.
Yeah,
She's
you can get like Life 360.
Felicia's husband is so pissed off at you right now, Allison. It's unbelievable.
You should see the look on his face.
Bye, Felicia. What's your advice?
I think that sometimes it's a good idea, sometimes it's not. If it's a trust issue, I don't feel like you should have to share your location. I'm kind of old school, so me sharing my location, just trust where I say I'm going. But if I'm going out of town, I do agree with it. Or if I'm going somewhere that I'm not sure if I'm safe, I will definitely share it, or at least let someone know where I am.
I gotcha.
So you feel like there's room for a compromise where he could go back and be like, listen, if I'm going somewhere unfamiliar, if I'm going on a road trip and you might be worried about me, I'll turn it on, I'll share it with you. But the rest of the time, let's trust each other.
Right. Because why are you with them if you can't trust them? I think that this sharing location is a new age thing, because we didn't do that when I was growing up.
No.
Exactly. Hey, thanks for the call. We appreciate you.
No problem.
Bye-bye.